Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast. It's a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys, obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because they said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. Welcome in, Green Bay Packer fans, to another edition of Lombardi's Bar here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us this week, which I'm sure will be a level-headed discussion about the future of this wonderful franchise. Shout out Emma, first one in the chat. Hello, Emma. If you have not done so already, take a second. Go ahead, hit subscribe on the YouTube page to get notified every time that we go live here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel on all of our shows across the platform. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at GameOnWI. We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, yes, Emma, no victory chain today because Joe Barry is a war criminal and should be brought to the Hague. What up, Jay? Rizzy? No, Rizzy bad. Rizzy down. No Rizzy today. I don't know the verbiage for it. Maybe these two guys can bring a little Rizzy to the action. It's Todd and it's Jimmy.
I cannot.
Boys, how are we doing? No Rizzy?
No.
You are the anti-Riz, Dan.
Me?
Yeah.
Why? Why am I the anti-Riz?
Why do you sound shocked about this?
I don't know. I guess I didn't think I was that bad that I was anti-Riz. I thought I was neutral. Riz neutral.
No, you're not.
I thought it was just standard, just right there.
Like
Just
on
regular
like there's
style
like
Riz.
the pH scale, like I'm right in the middle. That's what I sort of imagine myself being.
That might be my
Well,
favorite
where are
thing.
you guys then? Where are you guys?
I'm
on the
rizzed
Riz
up.
scale?
I'm on a
Yeah.
different spectrum, not that
Are
one.
you? Are you now? Yeah. Moving along. Kick save and view. What the fuck was Monday night? What the hell was that?
It was so bad. I thought we might come out flat, but not just play an absolute shithole of a game. That was worse than any game I've seen in a while. It's by far the worst game of the year. Losing to the Raiders and everything, whatever, but then getting our hopes up and then losing to the Giants is what really just fucking sucked, man. DeVito just looked so good. I do love this thing though, and his agent and all of that, but
no. No.
I loved it.
I hate everything about it, and I will personally enjoy. Call it salty, call it sour grapes, call it whatever you want. I don't care. I will enjoy watching the downfall of his career, which will inevitably come. The cliff
Why, though?
is approaching because fuck him. That's why. Because forever in my brain now will be ingrained the image.
You're
of
doing
this-
it right now as
of
you're
this
talking. though.
rent-a-center. Every time there were people in the stands doing it when Saquon Barkley scored a touchdown. Hey, motherfuckers! It wasn't him. It wasn't rent-a-center Tony Danza. It was fucking Saquon Barkley.
Add Italians to the list of people.
And now
Dan
everything. Now it's going to be one of those things in my brain where it's like 12 years from now, my son is going to ask me about, hey, Dad, did you tell me about the Tommy DeVito game? And I'm just going to stare off in the distance like the Civil War veteran or something.
I feel like we just we blew that up way bigger than it needed to go.
Monday night was rough. It was fucking rough, gang.
I like DeVito.
Rizzy was all the way down.
I love
Can
the
I-
fact that he
I
lives
go
at his
Rizzy.
house.
Can I be vulnerable for a minute with you guys?
Fantastic.
I
Yes.
hope not.
Uh, I'm pretty sure Monday night broke me. Like
I'm just shocked you were whole before that.
it like especially after last week, like turning myself around on this team. They've got a shot. They've been playing good. If we keep seeing that progression. They got cupcakes coming up. Like they can keep improving week to week, get some guys healthy. Let's see what happens. And then they come out and do that. Why?
Yeah.
This is why I was no, don't beat the Lions. Don't beat the Chiefs. Because you can't beat the fucking Giants. With a third string quarterback, they give up the most sacks in the
No, keep going. This is like no, let it out.
no.
So they gave up the most sacks, but how many sacks did we get?
Let me just check real quick. None. Or two. Everything just broke. I don't know what I hit.
Dude.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Hey,
gosh.
cool. I got picture back. I can see you guys. 0.
It was bad, dude. But the worst part is like, Kelsey, knock it off. I don't appreciate that. The worst part is like,
Did you think it
we
was
did
you?
well against Barkley. No, but that just automatically put me to third because she can't say Dan's her third favorite, and so like it could be
I
true
am.
though. Oh,
I think
thank
Pickett's
you.
probably your second.
I was gonna say.
Am I
she's
last,
watched it-
Kelsey?
She's watched,
I've never
she's
even met
watched
you.
a game. We've watched a game with Pickett, which is more than she can say
Well,
about.
Then Jimmy,
has to
then
do.
it would make sense for you to be last. She's never
Yeah.
met you.
No, because I didn't ruin anything.
You're just
You
you.
can't- Yeah, but she hasn't met that.
Can we
yet.
move
That's
on
what I'm
the
saying.
topic? Can we move
No,
past? the
Kelsey, we
topic
need
of my
rankings
wife
in the chat.
and back to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to,
I do. Yes.
fine. I'll text you.
I'm
Kelsey.
much more interested in Kelsey's rankings of
Yeah.
show members.
Oh, I did meet Kelsey. I yelled pervert. Okay. I don't remember that. Anyways, we did well against Barkley. Like that's a part. Yes, he had those 2 touchdowns, but if you get I believe I did that. If you get within 2 yards and you have Saquon Barkley, you're probably gonna score.
So Jimmy's 4th. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did a great job against Saquon Barkley, aside from him scoring 2 touchdowns.
What I'm saying is getting to that point, if you have Barkley, probably going to happen. But we shut his running game down like that. He had that big explosive run, ended up fumbling, big dumb idiot. But besides that, like I personally thought Barkley was going to destroy us a lot more than he did. We just had to worry about fucking Tommy DeVito looking like Michael Vick out there. Like that's the part that's frustrating is that's not how I expected any of this to go. For us to lose, I thought Saquon was going to have like record-breaking game, but he was average, did what any running back in the NFL can do, can score when you're on the 2-yard line.
Like they made Tommy DeVito look like Colin Kaepernick. Like
Yeah.
I was having PTSD watching him run.
Yeah.
That's why it stung so bad, was because he's not a quarterback that's going to win a Super Bowl, win an MVP. He's likely not even going to be around starting next year for the Giants.
Well, you
And
think
we
they're going to
made-
go back to Daniel Jones?
I think financially they have to. But it's Tommy fucking DeVito, and we made him look like a guy that was an MVP caliber quarterback. And that's insane when you juxtaposition it against what we did the week before against Patrick Mahomes, a person who's won 2 Super Bowls and multiple MVPs. This one, like Todd said, this is a soul breaker kind of game if you let it be. Is this the worst game in the past 2 years? I was going to ask this. Like, go back to last year and include this year. Is this the worst loss?
No, I would say losing to the Giants last year, losing to the Jets last year, those pissed me off more than now because I thought last year we had a chance. Like you had Rodgers. I thought we had like a playoff run possibility. This year, we're hoping for the 7th wild card spot and maybe get lucky in the playoffs. Like, as much as I want to be in the playoffs, and you never know what's going to happen, like, I don't have Super Bowl expectations this year. Last year with Rodgers and everything, like, my hopes are fucking sky high. And then to come back and lose to the Jets last year after we chose to play them, that's worse to me.
The Jets.
You guys are both off. It's the Detroit game last year. You were playing against a team that had nothing to play for, and you were playing for a playoff spot, and you came out and laid an egg. That was the worst loss of the last 2 years.
Yeah, for situation wise, but like they were a more talent, like a better team than some. We lost to the Commanders, Giants, and Jets. The Lions were a better team than those 3.
Here's right. The Lions might have been a worse team than us last year or whatever, but it's a division opponent, and they might not have had playoffs to play for, but they had spite to play for. And this one still sticks with me worse than the Giants game last year or the Jets game last year, mostly because it was Tommy fucking DeVito. Tommy fucking DeVito.
Nah.
Like I will not.
Dan, sit down, have a
this
chicken
for a
cutlet.
while.
Maybe you'll feel better.
No, I won't.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
Go have a nice
it's a
smoke and
shitty
tamale.
fucking loss. It's the worst loss of the season, but of the last couple years, absolutely not. This year,
I put this loss above any loss in terms of worse than last year.
Okay. Well, you're entitled
People
to
are
your
wrong
opinion.
a lot. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, well, let's dive into this a little bit more with buy around, pay the tab. I don't know who are we gonna buy around for today, Jimmy? Who would you like to buy around for?
This one actually brings me great joy and satisfaction to tell Todd he's a big dumb idiot, because Tucker Kraft, it's official, has broken the curse of the 3rd rounders, and he has broken the curse of my jersey buying, and now I can buy whatever the fuck I want because Tucker Kraft is blocking his ass off. He's breaking plays for Jaden Reed. He's catching balls. He's breaking tackles. Shit we've never seen a tight end do for the Packers in forever. He doesn't fall down when he catches it like Luke Musgrave. He looks like a dog. Tucker Kraft fixed everything. We would have won if they kept throwing it to him. They chose not to. Here we are. We lost. So their fucking fault. We're in. Broke it.
Can I tell you how low the bar is set for not only your jerseys,
Yeah,
but also for 3rd rounders and tight ends?
but he beat it.
He's got 14 catches for 159 yards and one touchdown.
Baby.
And Jimmy, I'm not saying that like I feel like you're blowing this out of proportion, because this is the level that all fans are at with Tucker Kraft right now.
Yeah.
That he is like the Lord and Savior of the organization as a whole. 14 catches.
Yeah. That's all you need at this point. He could cut that in half and he could have 7 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown, and I'd still be singing his praises.
I
That's
know
how
you
bad
would
the
be,
3rd
but
round
that's
has been.
because you're trying just to not be a complete moron. You're failing miserably either way. But like, you've got a dick ride because you bought the jersey. So I get that. But
yeah,
the fact that he is like, again, and
he's playing
honestly, I feel like this falls in line with a certain type of receiver that a lot of Packer fans really like to have on the team.
The Whites.
We have a white guy that's got 14 catches and 160 yards. And you guys, he's probably the greatest player on the team.
You know what really gets people going like Dan? We have not just 1, but 2 white tight ends. That
Technically,
play well.
we have 3. Technically, I think we have 3.
Of course, you know that, Dan.
I think we have 4 actually.
We have 2 good white tight ends.
Hold on, Ben
Over
Sims
Karate.
also has a touchdown. So holy
Ben
shit!
Sims does have a touchdown.
Here we are.
Put him in the Pro Bowl.
That's Dan's holy trinity. He's not Catholic anymore, but he sure as fuck worships those 3.
Yeah. Every night I pray to Tucker Kraft, Luke
He has
Musgrave, and Ben Sims.
A rosary. It's just those 3 hanging out with each other.
and Josiah DeGuara, the fallen angel himself. That's true. It does.
Hold on,
Todd-
Emma's got a good question here that I think we need to ponder.
No, it's the. Oh,
I don't think so.
I think he'd become a Hall of Fame coach.
I think you should do it just for the bit. I think
All
you
right.
should buy the jersey just for the bit.
Awesome. Start a GoFundMe. Get everyone to pay for every cent of it, and I will wear it all the time. I'll sleep in it. It'll be my pajamas. It'll be good.
All right, Todd, who would you like to buy around for?
Sorry, Todd really hated that I said pajamas. I could see the frustration on his face.
Yeah. So I wrote this down earlier this afternoon. I was in a much better headspace, and I had a bit to go with it. It's Matt LaFleur, and I don't remember what the bit is anymore. Yeah, like
Something about an end around.
Thank you, Matt, for putting together such a solid game plan to win 3 in a row so that you could come out and lay an egg and be absolute dog shit against the Giants. Guess what? If they would have not beat the Lions and not beat the Chiefs, do you know where they'd be picking right now? 5, maybe 4. I don't know the tiebreaker with the Commanders. They'd be top 5 pick. Instead, we looked like garbage, and right now we're going to be at like pick 20. So awesome. Cool. Thanks, Matt. Good job. Have a round.
How worried are you guys for you just saying the 5th round pick? Because that's what, or the 5th pick. The Bears have that right now. How worried are you right now for Justin Fields, week 18, looking at Tommy DeVito, how well he ran against us? Justin Fields could break his record that he set last year.
I'm not looking at week 18 already, Jimmy. Put that in your pocket for
We're on
a
to
few
Tampa Bay.
weeks. Yeah.
We're on Tampa Bay.
It's a relevant question.
Stop looking ahead.
I would like to say
I look behind. There's nowhere else to look then.
The Bears are sitting with the 5th pick at 5-8. The Packers are 6-7. So they have currently, I think, the 19th pick. So literally 1 week.
We're technically looking ahead to the draft, is all I'm saying.
1 week could swing them right into the top 10. They could be up to the top 8 if things go a certain way.
I just hope Matt keeps up with the game plan he put forward this week. Because if you think like that, we've got a really good opportunity here. You take a loss to the Panthers, that probably slides the Bears out of the number 1 pick. You lose to the Bears, that slides that. I mean,
you're not the Bears are picking first overall. There's no beating that. There's 4 games left and they have a 2-game lead over the Patriots. They're not.
Well, they beat us for 1. I mean, that could happen.
Anywho, I would like to buy a round for. First off, I'd like to buy a round for Taylor Swift because thank you so much, Taylor, for not being Tommy DeVito's fucking parents or his agent, because that broadcast last night really made me miss seeing Taylor Swift after every time Travis Kelce blew his nose or blinked on the sidelines.
When did that happen?
What?
When against the Packers, they only showed her 1 time.
All I'm saying is I
Yep, never mind. So we're hyperbolizing. Got it.
Over.
Don't say anything about Swift. Todd gets very frustrated.
Overseeing whoever, and I just fucking have to see. It's everybody had to talk to this agent, this Zoot Suit Riot motherfucker out here. He says not a costume. It's a fucking costume. You're a fucking fraud. And I will enjoy watching you go to jail for, I don't know, embezzling funds from the elderly or whatever he did to buy enough money to get that cheap ass suit. Fuck him. Fuck Tommy DeVito. Fuck Italian food. For real though, I'd love
I
to
don't
buy it.
understand. I don't understand the hate for him and his family. I don't. It's this kid
It's
had
because
no
he ran
he had
for
no
70
chance of
fucking
playing.
yards on us. That's why.
Well, I know, but you're being such a dick to his family and his agent for no reason. Be
Because
mad at our team and our defense that this
Because I
fucking
had to
dweeb was
st-
able to do
Yes.
that.
Of course, I'm mad at all of them. I am mad at all of them for letting it be a thing where every bumper out of the Monday Night Football broadcast is like a Godfather soundtrack, and it's like, hey, did you know Tommy DeVito's Italian? Forgot about it. Like, God, it made me want to just jump through a window, man. It was awful.
Where
I
did you-
couldn't stand it?
Where did you see all of this extra coverage from them?
They were on there a lot.
They were?
I know they broke away to
constantly.
him a lot, but there weren't. Like,
Constantly.
I saw one video yesterday of his agent doing an interview. Was it with Kay Adams?
I saw
I went-
Kay Adams.
And I went,
He was
okay.
on-
And I kept scrolling. Dan, do you know you can scroll past this stuff?
He was on.
Do you know you
Adams.
don't have to tune in to the
He was
stuff?
on Levitard. I'm pretty sure he was on.
Why
Good
do you
Morning
listen to
Football.
Levitard?
You listen to Barstool.
How do you hate that, but you listen to Levitard?
Well, Dan, I don't know if this will make you like
Wait,
him more,
How does
but
that-
he also his dad was on Fox News the next day. So
fuck
you
all of them.
are you
I
a
don't-
fan now?
No, fuck all of them.
You buying a DeVito
Fuck them
jersey
all.
today?
I hate them all.
We got it, but that's the new January 6th picture cut in, right?
God
Okay,
damn it.
cool. I just want to make sure.
Great. Well, I'm going to see that come later on in the show. But for real, I would like to buy a round for Isaiah McDuffie. He's not Quay Walker. I know that, but filling in that role, he did an exceptional job doing, given the circumstances he was given. He made a ton of plays. It's clear that he can run this defense and coordinate things. He is a solid player, and you kind of worried that he might end up another Blake Martinez or Jake Martinez or
Jake
insert
Ryan?
other. Is it Jake? What was his name?
Wasn't it like Jake Ryan or something? Guy from Michigan?
Was it Jake Ryan?
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't fucking Jake Martinez.
I don't know. He was very forgettable. Let's just say that. But no, he has done a good job to solidify himself as a serviceable inside linebacker when need to be called upon. So, cheers,
What do you
Isaiah.
think do you still think our best duo right now is Campbell and Walker? Because I feel like McDuffie makes some fucking plays. He is everywhere. I really like Walker and McDuffie, and I do think this is the last year Campbell's on the team. I don't.
Yeah.
I think we move on with Walker, McDuffie. We'll maybe draft someone or bring in. Oh, there we go. Or draft someone or bring in like an undrafted rookie this next season. But there has to be. I don't see Campbell staying on this team. One, he's been hurt a lot since his All-Pro year. Two, it's just he's getting older. McDuffie's he's good in the run game, and Quay's so fast and explosive that if he can get his coverage up, like he can definitely be a guy. I think our linebacking core is going to be. I know Jay does not like Quay, but he's going to be good. He is good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, there's going to be a time this offseason where fat needs to get cut from the roster, and if there are players, veterans right now who are making a decent amount of money or at the end of contracts, that you have guys behind them, younger guys who are cheaper and are playing at least semi close to their level. Like I'm looking at you, Darnell Savage. You're probably going to be gone next year. And so, yeah, it's probably the end of Campbell.
I don't think it will shock Darnell Savage at all that he's not back with this team. Nice of you to sneak that in. Looking at you, Darnell, he knows. He's aware.
I'm not saying it's a surprise. I'm highlighting, like, He's like the dog that pees in the corner, and you're like, "Who did that, Darnell?" And he looks at you like, "It was me. I know."
Get a dog and name it Darnell.
Who did that, Darnell? That's such a great dog name. Great pet name, Darnell. Let's go to pay the tab. Todd, who would you like to have pay the tab?
Rich Bisaccia, or at least maybe stop collecting a paycheck, because he does nothing from what I can tell. Special teams, he's got his fingerprints all over the roster with his guys on special teams. Last in the league in special teams, first in the league in special teams penalties. And there's just never any fucking and he's the associate head coach or assistant head coach. You would figure, and from what people have said about him, is he's kind of a motivator. That's this team comes out flat week in and week out. They're never the intensity level is never where it should be for a game. To come out on Monday night against a shit team like that, what do you do, my guy? What's happening? So pay the tab, go to prison for theft and fraud, something. I don't know. Just get out of here. I'm so tired of it.
I agree on all of that. I don't think you can put something like the Keshawn Nixon muff punt on him. That's a player, doing it, kind of going rogue and doing too much. But you're right on all your other points. What's the positive? What is the positive you can point to that Rich Bisaccia has brought to this team? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Nothing, honestly.
I appreciate the,
you know what,
the
safety depth, because he loves having safeties on special teams. So thankfully, we've got a whole bunch of really mediocre safeties.
Well, didn't he push hard to bring in Rasul Douglas, or there was who was it?
Levitt.
Levitt and Nixon was another one of his guys.
Yeah. Well, Nixon, I mean,
I don't have a problem with Nixon. I don't have a problem with Nixon's fumble the other night. Nixon's a guy that's going to try and make a play.
See, we're just going to jump into mine. He's my pay the tab.
Go for it.
Keyshawn Watergate Nixon, because he that. No, you don't pick up that ball and try to run. You don't. He barely had it in his fucking hands. He's still trying to get it controlled. Don't fucking run. Dive on it and leave it there. The game's too close to be trying to do this bullshit. It's different too, because he's a kick return specialist. He's barely done shit on punt returns. So when you're doing that, just fucking get on the ball. You already botched it too fucking late. Lay on it and you're done. And I think going to your Rich Bisaccia, Nixon probably covered up a lot of the problems from last year, because he had such explosive runs. He had the touchdown, the big return against Miami. He was killing it for that second half of the season after we let go of Rodgers. And it's just, now you look at it, this past game, it sucks for him. Valentine did not deserve that blindside block, or whoever had that. I think it was Valentine. That was
Johnson.
Yeah.
It was Johnson. Yeah, you're right. Johnson, that was bullshit. The Rudy Ford thing, definitely, he knew that guy was there. He threw his ass into him. He tried to hit him. He knew he was there. There's no way you run and all suddenly your
he
ass
knew he was there.
out.
It could have been a lot worse. I don't know that the contact, I think it was just a thing that by the time he knew he was there, contact was going to happen. He was just trying to get out from not making that look like it. If he would have put his shoulder down, that wasn't a vicious hit.
Yeah, but you could tell though.
It still comes down to things, and even like I said, playmakers are going to make. That's why Nixon returns it out of the end zone every time he gets a chance, because that's what he's going to do as a playmaker. So
he's proven though on kick return.
It's not like he's the first guy that's ever tried to pick up a fumble and run with it. So I'm not going to dog him on that one, but I will say again, going back to Bisaccia, there's no discipline in these guys, and it starts there with him on special teams to allow these dumb penalties to happen for guys to be out of position, to be making hits that are close enough to be a penalty. Like, was that a blindside block? By definition of it, probably. But was it what they're trying? Is that the vicious style block that they're trying to take out of the game? Absolutely not.
Here's something I'd just like to throw out here, because I think we're all, I think, on the same board with special teams that it's a hot dumpster fire. But you're talking about accountability on special teams. Most of the special teams players like that are third string, fourth string guys. How do you hold guys like that accountable? Because it's not like you can say, well, somebody else is going to come take your job on punt coverage or something. Like, you're not going to throw out,
every other team figures it out. Every other team's figured out how to do it. It's not like the Packers are the only ones.
But we did hold him accountable too, though, because you did not fucking see him on kick return or punt after that. Like, Nixon made that mistake and he was out.
That's fine, but that's because you have a viable option as to take his place. What I'm saying is, like, I guess, like, the only, like, I just don't understand, like, like, from the special teams standpoint. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just wondering how you do it.
Because last year, though,
somebody can take your job and you lose your job. You're not on the team anymore.
Yeah, that was Rodgers last year. He kept having those mistakes, and he was barely on offense.
Okay,
so it's kind of like, okay, so you're benched on special teams, and then eventually you're off the fucking team.
But see,
like, you hold him accountable.
That's different. That's different, though. Those are different. I'm talking about guys that are at the 53rd man on the roster. Are you going to keep cutting guys at the bottom of the roster just because they're getting a penalty on special teams, and you're just going to keep turning that roster?
Love it.
Yeah, that's why he's off the team. He got 2 penalties on 1 play, and he's fucking out.
I guess I just don't know how you hold guys like Anthony Johnson Jr. You're not going to cut him because you're investing in him as a safety of the future. So how do you hold him accountable on special teams? Do you know what I mean?
You make him a healthy scratch, and you pull somebody from the practice squad to play, because that's the only place he's getting snaps is on special teams, unless somebody gets hurt. So you say, all right, well, you can't play special teams anymore then, dude. Now you're getting no time, and you don't even get to suit up on something. Like, I think that's part of it is, like, these guys, like, those are the guys that want their jobs. Like, that's his opportunity to show that he can play football in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if that's the only time you're making a play, go make a play. And I don't think it's every time that there's one mistake that you get rid of a guy, but the amount of mistakes that happen on special teams, eventually you've got to do something, because whatever they have been doing isn't working. And this, it kind of rides with a tweet that I put out during the game, which some people didn't find the shtick that I had with it, which was, how LaFleur, the team's going to win, and LaFleur is going to be crying in the locker room afterwards, talking about how proud he is of this team for sticking together. Like, we've seen coaches get mad and hold guys accountable after a win in the past. You played like shit, and it just seems like every time this team plays like shit and manages to eke out a win, LaFleur just talks about how they're so amazing and they're so incredible. For, like, at what point do these guys, like, it doesn't seem like anyone ever gets held accountable for any of the bad stuff that happens.
Well, I don't know if you were doing it intentionally, but it kind of transitions into my pay the tab here.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
The first one here, I want to, before we get into Matt, ESPN. I don't care that you bitched and moaned to the NFL about not getting Thursday night games or the playoff game or whatever. So they threw you a couple extra Monday night games and you want to simulcast them. That's great. I made the decision to watch Packers Giants. I don't give a fuck what is happening in Titans Dolphins. Please, when my team is trying to convert a third down, quit putting a picture-in-picture of the entire red zone drive of a different game I'm not watching. I don't care. show me a highlight when you have some dead time, like every other fucking broadcast does. The split screen, Emma, is absolute garbage. Throw it away. Speaking of garbage, Matt LaFleur, what the fuck was that on Monday night? The game plan, there was no game plan.
There was end around after end around after end around.
It felt like at times he had he had a bag of like rocks that had all the plays written on it, and he just reaches in, picks one out, and he's like, this one. And like there was no cohesion, there was no setup except for trying to establish a Jaden Reed end around for the 5th time.
But it worked that one time. That was fucking cool.
That's
the problem with a jet sweep. When a jet sweep works, it looks so cool and it becomes addicting.
I'm not gonna lie, that's me on Madden if it ever works once.
Right.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like every time I was like, I've been this guy on Madden.
If it doesn't work, it looks like poo.
Yeah, you're second and 20.
Yeah. But more so than the game plan that I want to call him out for is it seemed like the whole time, every time that we saw him on screen, he had a terrible demeanor with this team. And Todd, I want to separate these two. Holding guys accountable after the game, in the locker room, in the media, wherever, I think yes, you need to have that, and I hope that they had that in the locker room, and I hope that in the future we can see more of that, him publicly not throwing guys under the bus, but being a little bit more outwardly critical of performance. But it seemed like Jordan Love, it's still his first year starting. I understand he's been here for a while, but the visual expressions and he like Jordan would miss a throw and he's over there like, oh my God, like that's not what you need to be doing as a coach. Like in a game where everybody is coming out flat, you don't need to be Mr. Oh, what are we? Oh, and then the Patrick Taylor thing. Yes, Patrick Taylor needs to get out of bounds. He realized that to come over there and stop and scream around as if it was like 2 seconds left in the game, like you had 2 timeouts still. It was a really bad look for Matt LaFleur when it's clear the whole team is like in a weird vibe. You need to kind of be that centering force to say, let's bring it back to center. Let's refocus. Let's do it. And it seemed like he let himself get caught right in the rut with everybody else and took them all away.
It was nice actually seeing when he yelled at Patrick Taylor. This is not his first time not getting out of bounds. Just get the fuck out of bounds. He lost a couple yards, and it's not like he ran over there to yell at Patrick Taylor. He ran over there because he had to call a fucking timeout because his dumb ass didn't get out of bounds.
Right, but then he's throwing his stuff like, come on.
Because he's the coach, and his player did a dumb fucking thing for the second time this year.
But what does it do?
2 weeks.
What does it do? What does that do?
Tells him not to fucking do that again.
Yeah, hopefully it embarrasses some guys and they go, maybe I shouldn't fuck up.
And also with the Jordan Love stuff, yeah, he got upset, but like Jordan Love missed throws on the first 3rd down, which should have been an easy completion, overthrew it. They didn't show a drastic thing. Then he did the same shit the next drive. Like it's okay to be like, come on, man, what the fuck's going on? Like you have to make that throw. Like that's part of being a coach. You can't coddle. This is his first full year playing. Not coddle, but this is his first full year playing. These are one of the situations where, yes, first full year, he's still a veteran in the NFL technically. So get on his ass when he's doing dumb shit. Like you're expected to make these easy throws, man.
That's not getting on his ass. I would
assume there's frustration that goes with,
that is showing everybody else on the field. That's showing every Giants player, like, we're in his head. We know it. Look at them. They're all frustrated. They all know it. We've got them. We know they don't want any of this.
So do you want when he makes those throws just to be stone faced, like, oh yeah, we missed that? Like, I guess I don't like.
Yes,
It's a
there are
natural
plenty of-
reaction to like all
But
of
there are
us. I'm
plenty
sure
of
on the
coaches
couch were
that
fucking rolling.
I don't need to see. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. If you want to,
Then
go
blame
on the
ESPN
sideline.
just like you did in the first part because
That's-
it's their fault. Fucking panning to him, or you wouldn't see it. But for him to be visibly upset that his starting quarterback missed easy fucking throws on crucial downs is fine. Like we've seen coaches fucking scream at players, which hopefully he did in the locker room or even on the sideline. That doesn't matter. But in that moment, it was just a human reaction. He missed an easy throw that he should have had. I'm just going to be a little upset. Like that's natural. I feel like this is something that Matt LaFleur, he's done a lot of dumb shit, but this one is just coaching.
I feel like we normalize this idea that coaches need to be angry to get through to players to affect them changing. Like if a player is not performing well or a player is doing something wrong, well, if a coach doesn't get angry, he's not. Then how will it ever?
They can
change?
show emotion.
What's the only way a coach has to get in his face?
Was it anger or frustration? Because I'm sure that they've worked. It does
fucking matter. You're the head coach,
and it's okay to be emotional and to get fired up about stuff. And I'm guessing that they've been working on a lot of these easy throws with Jordan Love since day one because his accuracy has always been an issue. And so when he's missing stuff, if he's off platform, if it's like that deep ball that got tipped to Toure, he's got that hitch. If it's something like that that's causing these issues where LaFleur is saying, dude, we talk about this every week. Get your feet right. You can't throw it like that. Like, then, it's okay to get frustrated and say.
Getting frustrated at him, that will be the best way to help him fix it. I guarantee shaming him and putting him down.
Soft. That's the softest thing you've ever said.
It's not.
You think a professional athlete can't?
Yes.
You think Jordan Love doesn't know? Oh, shit. Coach is going to be pissed at me. Oh, I did what I'm not supposed to do.
Look,
that's an awful take.
Todd, look, I understand.
You're not coddling them, but you can't be frustrated with them.
No.
And if you're frustrated now, you're shaming them publicly. But we're not coddling.
Todd, I understand. It's hard. It's hard for everybody to realize.
Gotta stop doing this because you're sorry.
My culture is not your costume, Dan.
You don't have to be Mr. Grab the face mask to be a good coach. I understand everyone doesn't understand that. Some of us do.
Did he?
And that's okay.
Did LaFleur grab a face mask?
That's fine.
But it's just I feel like it's just because we know if Jordan would have came to that sideline after those missed throws and LaFleur is just clapping to him like, we got this, man. We got this. Like that's maybe one time.
Not what I'm saying.
Well, I know, but then what does he do? Is it just you have to be fucking stone faced?
Well,
I guess that's what I'm confused on because
guys, guess what?
And you say that's not what we want.
Human emotions aren't a fucking dichotomy. Okay, you don't have to be rah or fucking
I feel like you're frustrated right now, and it's not. I don't know.
You're such an asshole, Todd.
You're shaming us.
You're such an asshole.
I understand. You know.
No. So how? Jimmy's got a good question though. How do you want to see him handle that? When your team.
Well, how though? You can say differently, but I gave you two different options, and you said no to both of them.
I don't care.
So what does he do?
Something different. That's not right. That's not correct. I don't like it. So
what? Okay, so here's my question: what would you like?
I don't know. Not that.
That's where I'm confused.
It's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. But I know that that's not right, or that I don't want to see that from my coach. That's it. It's not my job to do that. It's his fucking job to figure it out. And that wasn't helpful. That wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So I understand. I understand everyone in the chat, everyone here, fuck off. I don't care. Call me soft. Call me soft. I don't give a fuck.
We all know I'm the softest one here, guys. We can just rule that out. but I don't understand this one because I just don't know what else. Like, it's just human. You're fucking pissed that your quarterback fucked up.
I understand that, but you are paid as a head coach to act a little bit better. And I'm not saying that it's completely wrong or that it's you guys are treating it like a black and white issue, and it's not. I'm saying move it a little bit more to the gray. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like that's what we're trying to, but then there's not even
no, because you guys are picking you're picking instances here and there and saying, well, what about this? Well, if you don't agree with this, then the whole rest of the thing's wrong. It's not a dichotomy, guys. It's a fucking scale. It's a whole spectrum.
I know, but I'm asking you where on that scale does that like there has to be, you can't
Move
just
it
say like he
closer
handled
to
that
the
wrong. So
middle.
then I moved it a little bit to just like stone face, moved it a little bit to cheering him on, moving the other way to yelling at him, and all of it is no, not that, not that, not that. At some point we can say it's not dichotomy, but at some point it has to be this is what a coach should do.
Because
And we've
all of
seen
your
Did he throw
coaches
his
do shit like
clipboard?
that.
No, all of your examples are you're treating them as if they're multiple options. They're not. They're all on one side of it. You're saying, well, if he's not frustrated, he's going to be, rah, rah, it's okay. Let's do
I
it.
said, Todd
Like,
mentioned
that's-
grabbing his face mask. We mentioned fucking stone face. We
Dan
mentioned
said that.
cheering him on. But like, there's those really hard in the middle of a fucking football game. I know we want to say it's a fucking scale. You can swing back and forth. There's really 3 options. You're pissed, you're stone faced, or you're cheering him on.
No,
That's the type of coaching it is, man.
There's
You
This
can
is
have-
where a Bears fan lies.
No, you're trying to categorize it all. You can't. It's a spectrum. All I'm saying is I didn't like the instances I saw, and I
Hey,
would
guys.
like him to be
Guys,
better.
guys,
That's it.
guys. We can't take the Broncos lightly.
If you take the Broncos
Can't do
lightly
it,
one
dude.
more time, everybody, I'll kill you.
You can't do it.
You-
You know
you
why
just
we lost this game?
We took the
Took the
Broncos
Broncos
lightly.
lightly. Can't fucking do it.
No, not a chance. It's just
No matter what, when we argue, that's just gonna always be the
That
tension
has to be
breaker, right? Can't take them. Jeez Louise. Okay,
I just
so
want to say real quick, I love you guys. It's all love.
I love you too. You're
Everyone in
wrong,
the
but I
chat.
love you
I
too.
know I told
Soft.
everybody fuck off, but
it's soft.
No, don't. That's what pissed him off, and we both know that's what pissed him off. You fucking asshole. It was all hunky dory until it's soft, and I saw Dan's eyes go January 6th, and they were fucking dilated.
He had that.
I'm
He had
pretty-
that look like he was in the tunnels of the Capitol and saw
Dude,
Pelosi.
he grabbed his Vikings hat and he was ready to roll.
when you said eyes go January 6th, I pictured like in like
Red, white, and blue.
like Looney Tunes
with an
when
eagle.
like the eyes like pop out as like a heart. I pictured like pop out as like a Capitol building. Let's go, Brandon.
I'm gonna learn Photoshop and animation just to do that to your face.
No, you're not.
You're right. I
No,
know,
you're
but
not.
those are goals. I'm gonna write it down.
You don't even clip stuff for the show anymore. You're not fucking doing that.
You're right. I know. I've gotten so fucking lazy. I've given up on life.
That sounded bitchier than I meant it to. I'm sorry.
I deserve it.
How about some bar bets for this week's game against Tampa Bay? Look,
Before we do that, though, can I really just say I do love that we've completely given up on the game preview, and it really has been the last few weeks us making jokes about the Broncos, and then we immediately go to bar bets. There hasn't been any but seriously, the Buccaneers.
They play the Buccaneers Sunday. We'll do it. Let's get into it real quick. They play the Buccaneers on Sunday. Jimmy and I will both be at the game. They're probably going to lose.
Oh, there we are. I don't think they're gonna,
Okay.
you have them as underdogs on that one.
Did you see what they just fucking did?
I
Are
did, but they
Was
also
I
play
the
better
only one
against
watching
better
that fucking
competition.
game?
They play better against better competition. We knew this last one had the possibility of being a trap game. It's not like the game sucked. It was
On a short
disappointing.
week,
Are
you
we
think that these
surprised
teams-
what happened though? Like there is a thing. It sucks. It got our hopes up, but like the Packers, in Matt LaFleur's time, have been fucking notorious for playing down to their competition. I
The
expect them to
Packers
be
are a
pissed off this
3.5
time.
point favorite.
Okay, then yeah, we'll probably lose. We have to be underdogs. Todd's right. I take back everything I said. That's all it took to convince me.
Longest completion on Sunday. Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield. I think this past week, Jordan Love's longest pass was 43 yards. Baker Mayfield was 36, I think. I think as a season overall, I think they both have one that's about 75, 77 yards as their longest pass.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of question marks on who's actually playing in this
Yep.
game.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiaris, Mayfield, just because Evans and Godwin will play. I don't know for sure who's covering them, but they're gonna play. Dobbs, is he the only healthy wide receiver right now on the roster?
Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed said he is good to go today.
Still on the injury report, but I'm with
an
that
ankle.
he's limited.
But I think he's out of concussion protocol at least.
He is, but he was limited with an ankle.
That's true.
So who knows where that's at? But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Mayfield on this one, just because you know who's going to be there for him to throw the ball to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
I'm with Todd. No Jair. No, who knows about questionable Jair, questionable Watson. Like it's right now with what we have. I'm gonna go Mayfield. 5 Bakhtiaris.
Okay. I'm gonna go Jordan Love, and it's not just because I am
season.
in the gambler's ruin trying to save my ass at the end of this, but as bad as this defense is at things like stopping the run, they don't give up a lot of big plays through the air. I think they're one of the best defenses against explosive plays. And so I feel like those two wide receivers will eat. They will destroy this defense, but I don't think it's going to come in big explosive plays. I think it's going to be chunk plays. So I'll say Jordan Love. I'll go 5 Bakhtiaris on this to potentially get myself back in the mix here. All right, Baker Mayfield's over under 1.5 sacks this week. He has been sacked the same amount of times this season as Tommy DeVito, playing in more games than Tommy DeVito, obviously. Yeah. But just everything that we saw from that pass rush last week on Monday, 1.5 sacks on Baker Mayfield. Where do we fall?
I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris over. I feel like this defensive line has to be fucking embarrassed for not getting to DeVito. They're going to come in, and we're at home. Rashawn Gary putting on a show for the crowd. I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris over. We have to.
Yeah, I'm going to follow suit there. Just I feel like DeVito was like, there was pressure on him. He was just quick to sneak up and slide away from it. And I feel like Mayfield is more of your veteran style, going to spend a little bit more time in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, hold on to the ball a little bit longer, and that's where you're going to see those pop up. So 5 Bakhtiaris over.
Yeah. I mean, I think you guys hit all those points exactly. I'm going to go over as well. I'll go 5 Bakhtiaris. Yeah, like Tommy DeVito, he's not familiar in that offense as much as a typical veteran quarterback would be. He doesn't have weapons like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin to be looking to throw to. And like just Baker Mayfield, he's going to want to make the play with his arm over his legs. And I'm exactly what you said, Jimmy. I just have to pray that this defensive line got a wake-up call, a kick in the ass on Monday, and said, we need to play better than this, and we're back at home, and we need to get, if their goal is playoffs, then they need to turn it around on Sunday. And so I'll say yes, over. Back to Mr. AJ Dillon now. And again, this one also might
under whatever you're saying, under.
Kind of like what Todd said, it depends on if we see Aaron Jones or not. It's up in the air pretty much every week now moving forward. But over under 50 yards rushing. He has hit that mark in the last 2 games, but only 6 times all season. How do we feel about this one, gang?
How do you feel about this one, Dan?
Yeah, let's go with you first.
I'm going to say under. I'll go 4 Bakhtiaris. I'll say under.
And this is strictly rushing yards, not
just
combined.
strictly rushing yards. He does not have like that explosiveness that Aaron Jones has. He is playing better, but even his better is supposed to be complementary football to a different running back or in a running game. And I just don't think I just can't see him getting there. So I'll go 4 under.
I'm gonna go over. I think even if Jones does come back, let him catch his breath a little bit more. I'm not doing 5 Bakhtiaris. I'll do over 2 Bakhtiaris.
Confident.
Yeah, as you can tell, 0 confidence in that one.
I'm gonna go under 5. I feel like Jones is gonna play this week. I'm gonna speak it into existence. He's gonna come back, see some extra touches there. I feel like this team's gonna be down 3 points, and LaFleur is gonna panic and do nothing but throw the ball. So yeah, I'm gonna say 5 Bakhtiaris on the under.
I feel like Dylan's big plays lately too have come from just little dump offs. Somehow in the open field.
Yeah.
Like he's been more valuable in that situation than actually handing him the ball. He's been shifty as hell. A couple little jump plays, little hurdles, but
he has more receiving yards than Tucker Kraft.
Watch your fucking mouth, okay? That's because he's been splitting carries since week 1. Tucker Kraft was underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer.
So you boys are going to be at the game.
Yep.
What's the weather outlook? Is it just going to be regular Wisconsin?
That's a good question.
Chilly?
40 degrees and sunny.
It's going to be 40?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was gonna
42
say, like,
as of now.
They're saying it's going to be like heading
yes.
into the week leading up to Christmas. It's going to be unseasonably warm. So,
thanks a lot, gas cars. I appreciate it today. I'm appreciate it on Sunday. Global warm the shit out of it because I hate the cold. Then go back to stop.
The last time we went to a cold weather game, you were in a crop top the whole time.
yeah, I was going to
Do
say.
you think I enjoyed that moment in time? No, but I was trying to look sexy for the guests.
He
And
did
I
it for a bit. I appreciate.
My nipples were hard as fuck during that time. You felt them, you know.
The opposite of everything Dan said about Matt LaFleur.
I really wish I hadn't talked over the beginning of what Matt LaFleur or that clip there of Jimmy saying my nipples were hard as fuck the entire time. Because
They were.
I don't know, but I'm going to clip it where you just said it.
Anywho, appreciate everyone stopping by in the chat today. Thank you so much. Always great to have everyone in here. If you are new to the show, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get notified every time that we go live across all of our shows on the platform. Follow us on Twitter and all other social media at GameOnWI. You can follow all 3 of us in our little bubbles. Todd doesn't have his I think it's something like the Tavi. You don't need to follow Todd. But you're muted. You're muted. But
R.I.P. Captain Holt. You have to put it in there.
Rest in power, King. For producer Matt behind the scenes, for Todd, for Jimmy, and your bartender Dan, saying cheers, everybody. And as always, go Pack Go.